Hello and welcome to Camnet Television News. Today, the 18th of February 2024. To present, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The top stories in the news tonight: CHABINGA pleads with former President Edgar Lungu to quit active politics. Economists describe recent QUACHA gains as artificial. Mkoshi family opposes mining license allegedly issued on its land. In international news, Senegalese citizens rally against presidential election postponement. And in sports news, EVARINE KOTONGO says Ghana Olympic qualifier match is a must win. These and more stories coming up shortly after this short break.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Another news in detail. A family of Mkoshi district in Central Province has called for halting of a mining license alleged to have been issued to a mining company on its piece of land. Family spokesperson Justin Kamayoyo wonders why the said company is insisting to begin operations when the family was told that the matter is under investigations. Mr. Kamayoyo has since called for thorough investigations into the matter and explained that his family has nowhere to go. Details in this report.
A local family in Mkoshi district of Central Province is living in fear as the land they claim to be theirs is alleged to have been targeted by a mining company despite the land in question with mineral deposits being on investigation. Justin Kamayoyo, a family representative, says their land has been their home for generations, but now they fear they may be forced to leave due to a mining license they claim was issued without the due process of the law to a mining firm identified as Ndalumba Mineral Resources. Mr. Kamayoyo alleges that when they inquired from the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development, they were told that the matter is under investigation since 2014 and wonders why an application for mining operation has been issued.
Our family started to engage by then the late Jasmine Chikwakwa. He was brought on scene as a civil servant that he can assist to obtain the license. However, it dragged from 2005 until when he was appointed as Deputy Minister in 2012. Then the license unfortunately came in his license. All efforts were tried. It was even reported to anti-corruption, and anti-corruption has the report to that effect in 2013. Then we involved the anti-corruption as a way forward, requesting them to carry out an investigation. And they also involved Ministry of Mine that also responded to us by telling us that they have suspended and they'll be working to come out with a professional result from the investigation. However, they never came out until we saw the application put on by Ndalumba.
The families are however calling for a thorough investigation into the alleged mining license and demanding transparency from the authorities involved.
Request and appeal to PS Mines and Director Cadastre to resign voluntarily on moral grounds. And I'm going not to stop from here. I'm still moving on, and I'll not be stopped to see the president. I have sufficient evidence. You continue to accuse and say the president, you are receiving instruction from the State House and the president. The president clearly stated in a televised interview, distancing the First family and State House from activities to do with Ndalomba and the mining in Mkushi.
As the family accusation of a mining company eyeing their land armed with a license they believe is illegal unfolds, they only hope for transparency and accountability from the powers that be. Efforts to get a comment from the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development or the alleged mining company could not bear fruits by broadcast time. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Keepers Zambia Foundation, KZF, has urged the government to immediately commence organizing relief food in light of the dry spell which has destroyed crops, especially in the southern half of the country. KZF Executive Director Ezra Banda says at this point it is important to acknowledge that the 2023-2024 rainy season is a disaster in southern parts of Central Province, Southern Province, Western Province, Lusaka Province, Eastern Province and Western Province. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Banda has urged the government to come up with a relief plan to the public, as well as put in place adaptation measures to the adverse climate change impacts being witnessed.
So, in terms of what interventions can be put in place, okay, you have long term and short term. So the short term basically is the government to start mobilizing relief food. That's the short term. We cannot run away from that. We have to call a spade a spade. There will be a shortage in terms of food security in the country. So the short-term one is that they now, hopefully the Minister of Agriculture is already putting in the systems to see how are they going to meet the gap. Already, we allude to the issues of prices of meal due to inadequate maize stock. So now, this situation will even make it worse. So I think what the government needs to be doing, or maybe which they are rightly doing now, might be they have already started now estimating what would be the shortfall, then which means we're talking about importation. So that is the short term. But the long term, again, we have to refocus on the issues of irrigation. Okay? Irrigation. If the people now start going into the issues of schemes, wherever they are, there is a scheme, we put up a dam, then they start irrigating. That could be wrong term. But at the same time, I know that we need also to employ the issues of adaptation, adaptive measures. People need to diversify their systems of farming, because I think partly the drought we're experiencing now is because of climate change. The ozone layer is now not getting adequate stuff which we need to make it properly functioning. So I think the issues now is how do each and everyone become responsible to start restoring the nature so that we have adequate, but that is a wrong term.
The Citizens First Party, CF, says it is not surprised to see what it terms a temporal gain in the kwacha. CF spokesperson Frank Sichone claims the trend will continue in the next few days because the government is running an artificial and propaganda economy. He argues that there is nothing tangible to show that Zambia's economy has suddenly improved, such as exports surpassing imports or local production increasing.
We know that this matter is just some kind of propaganda which is happening because the government operates on an economy which is a propaganda economy. Why do we also say this? It's because what they are doing is nothing sustainable. Now, running an economy is not done by temporal measures and so forth. We need to look at long-term measures that are going to help sustain the economy and also sustain the exchange rate. We cannot have this sustainable because there's no productivity in the country. We have no one who can actually tell us that our exports have actually now superseded or it has exceeded more than even the imports that we have. And I'm sure you know that when we have more exports, it means we're going to have a lot of inflows in terms of forex. And that is basically what will help us to have a stronger economy. But as it stands, we're still importing more and exporting less. So these temporal measures that we've seen have made a temporal gain in the kwacha, which is not going to be sustainable. And soon we're going to see the kwacha slide back to where it belongs. This has happened simply because the UPND runs a propaganda economy, and they want to make people believe that that things are happening, and yet there is nothing that is happening in the economy.
Persons with Disabilities Goodwill Ambassador Elijah Ngwale has advised former President Edgar Lungu to stay away from active politics as the trend is bringing embarrassment to him. Speaking in an interview, Professor Ngwale argues that as long as the only surviving former head of state, Mr. Lungu should focus on offering counsel to the current leadership. Professor Ngwale says Mr. Lungu has the opportunity to have a different legacy from former President Frederick Chiluba, Rupia Banda and Kenneth Kaunda, who all attempted to return to active politics but failed lamentably. Meanwhile, leader of the opposition in Parliament, Robert CHABINGA, has contended that the former head of state is being wrongly advised by selfish individuals who want to benefit from him. More in this report.
The formation of the United QUACHA Alliance has seen former President Edgar Lungu's return to active politics gain political momentum. This follows his return to active politics on October 28, 2023, on grounds aimed at saving the collapsing former ruling party, the Patriotic Front PF. His decision has, however, continued to receive mixed reactions. Persons with Disabilities Goodwill Ambassador Elijah Ngwale has advised the former head of state to stay away from active politics, contending that the move is causing him embarrassment.
Including our mama, don't throw her away. Amama Esther Lungu, former first lady, implore with them that please, don't be cease to stop being in active politics. There is a lot you can contribute. Tell them that President Lungu could form a think tank, former president, a think tank to advise government on a non-partisan level.
And speaking during the State of the Nation address, leader of the opposition in Parliament, Robert CHABINGA, says the former head of state is being advised wrongly.
Do you think really you can return back to power? Who is advising my president? Mr. Chabaru, who's advising him? They are really advising him very wrongly. Na Papa Tamanini, Mr. President, stay away from this politics, because I can see that it is just the beginning of embarrassment. More embarrassments are coming.
On the state of the PF, Mr. CHABINGA, who is also Mafinga Member of Parliament, has stressed that there are no factions in the former ruling party, urging members of Parliament and the media to hit the directive.
And the same people that you are reporting as the Secretary General, we shall report them for impersonation. Even my older brother, Honorable Brian, he is an ordinary member of Parliament and also member of Parliament. I am leader of the opposition. Effective 1st of November 2023.
Mr. CHABINGA has since urged those championing the Barcelona agenda to desist from the act, as Zambia is a unitary state. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, economists have described the recent appreciation of the kwacha against major convertible currencies as artificial and does not reflect the reality of citizens in the country. Neila Kapoka tells Camnet News that the appreciation can only reflect on the economic realities of citizens if it results in price reduction of commodities and services which he predicts may not be realized. Meanwhile, economist Emmanuel Zulu says despite the country's currency appreciating, there is still need to boost production because the current measures by the Bank of Zambia are non-expansionary. He tells in this report.
Holders in the financial and economic fields have since 2023 attributed the depreciation of the kwacha to the delayed debt restructuring process, lack of reinvestment in government bonds, among others. Recently, the Bank of Zambia offloaded $215.5 million on the market to support the free-falling kwacha and raise the reserve ratio from 17% to 26%, a difference of 9%. However, as of Friday, 16 February 2024, the US dollar was buying at 25 kwacha, 61 ngwe, and selling at 26 kwacha, 10 ngwe, an improvement from other days when the dollar was selling at over 27 kwacha. Reacting to this appreciation of the kwacha, economist Nela Kopakopa says the current situation is artificial and does not reflect the current reality of citizens in the country. Mr. Kopakopa says the appreciation of the kwacha is not sustainable. As such, it does not reflect the economic realities of the country for the local currency to appreciate.
So it's not sustainable because we do not have the real fundamentals that can drive the appreciation of the kwacha. Until we start earning enough dollars from the mines, when production go up, after the problems at Mopani and the KCM are finally resolved, they start mining, the tonnage goes up, we start getting a fair share of revenue through our mineral tax. That's when we expect the kwacha to appreciate sustainably. This appreciation, if it's because of selling dollars by central bank and some positive sentiments, investment sentiment news, is not sustainable.
While others have attributed the appreciation of the kwacha to key economic policies being put in place, economist Emmanuel Zulu says there is need to boost production because the current measures by the Bank of Zambia, such as the upward adjustment of the monetary policy rate from 11% to 12.5%, causes further pain on citizens as it tightens liquidity in the economy.
But they are not, something that is sustainable because there's direct intervention there. We are throwing in forex in the market. What is needed is forex is supposed to be aimed, mostly through trade and exports. So we note that our main forex earner sector, which is the mining sector, is not performing very well, and that has actually affected, the supply of dollars on the market. So if we are to talk about sustainability, we have to talk about, the main sectors that are earning forex being productive, and ensuring that the productive sectors such as agriculture, tourism, as well as manufacturing come into play, and also bring in the aspect of import substitution. So the impact may not be immediate because I think the business entities are still skeptic about reducing the prices of commodities.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
A Lusaka-based agronomist, Jason Muhango, has encouraged farmers in regions affected with dry spells to form cooperatives and access Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to purchase irrigation equipment. In an interview, Mr. Muhango says cooperatives are the only short-term measure the farmers can use to cushion the damage caused by the change in the weather patterns. Mr. Muhango has also urged farmers to learn from this season and start to diversify crop production, such as venturing into horticulture.
According to the Zambia Meteorological Department, in a statement issued on the 9th of February, from the 10th to the 19th of February 2024, Zambia will experience mostly dry conditions with less rainfall in the southern parts of the country, whilst the northern part of Zambia will experience excess rainfall of over 100 millimeters with potential flooding and soil erosion. The statement also revealed that the dry conditions will be coupled with high temperatures that may increase evaporation rates and further deplete soil moisture required for crop growth, leading to wilting. In the recent weeks, farmers have complained about the harsh weather conditions that have dried out most of their crops in some parts of the country. But agronomist Jason Muhango has urged farmers to form cooperatives and access CDF funds that will enable them acquire irrigation equipment as a short-term measure for those whose fields have not been terribly affected.
Just encourage the farmers not to not to rest, but to fight. And the best way to fight is now to put the resources together. And the best way to do it is through cooperatives. And with cooperatives...
We apologize for that poor picture quality in that clip. A non-governmental organization, Fight Inequality Alliance, FIA Zambia, has appealed to the Zambian government to ensure recent discovered copper deposits benefit ordinary citizens as opposed to those connected to political power. FIA Zambia National Coordinator Mputa Ngalande says despite Zambia being a rich country, government is not collecting enough revenue from the mines and calls for the return of the windfall tax and revision of the taxing model for mines in the country. Mr. Ngalande believes reviewing policies to enhance maximum revenue collection from the mining sector following the discovery of large copper deposits should be priority. Recently, Cobalt Metals discovered the largest copper deposits ever recorded in the history of mining in Zambia, of which the $2 billion mine project will be built at its Mingomba project.
The refusal to bring about windfall tax really does not mean that with the largest copper deposit that we have, there is anything that the Zambian people are going to benefit. And that is the fear. And this also contributes to the high levels of inequality, where only the ruling elites are benefiting from this discovery. It is unacceptable, and we ask that those that are in power and those that are our leaders should be patriotic enough when we are discussing this issue. We have seen that foreign direct investment does not benefit our people largely. Only a few that are connected to power that benefit, and that is unacceptable. And with the discovery of the largest copper deposits, we should not find ourselves in the cases where we have to borrow more money that takes us into a debt distress that we have seen with being blessed with a lot of resources as a country. That perpetuates inequality.
And still in mining news, outspoken civil rights activist Brebna Changala has labeled Vedanta as a hoax. In an interview, Mr. Changala says the whole Vedanta issue is a sham, stating that the president, before coming in office, assured Zambians that the company would not return. Mr. Changala has since cautioned government to be serious with how it is handling national assets such as mines and minerals. More in this report.
Earlier last week, it was alleged that Vendata Resources Company, which is a major shareholder in the Konkola copper mine, planned to sell off its shares in order to raise capital. This allegation received a lot of criticism from stakeholders. Commenting on the matter, civil rights activist Brebna Changala says Vendata is a hoax as the government have failed to shed more light on the current situation at the Konkola copper mine.
Vendata deal was a hoax because we are reading somewhere else that Vendata is trying to sell the shares to raise capital. This is a sham. And what surprises the people of Zambia, me included, is that the government, the president, Kabuswe, and everybody else, they have run away. They don't even want to shed more light on the chaos that they have created.
Mr. Changala says the UPND administration must set their priorities right and safeguard the country's natural resources.
They must remember that they are dealing with a national asset, but most importantly, they are dealing with people's lives. And they can't play Mickey Mouse here. In recent weeks, the president and the entire cabinet have disappeared from the face of the country. And ministers who are supposed to be serious in their offices, they have all gone to campaign in ward by-elections. And that's where the focus has shifted in the midst of hunger, failing economy, the damaged kwacha, and many vices where the Zambian has been reduced to a pauper.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
This is Camnet Television Main News. We take a break. Join us for more news after the break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Are you planning to marry or get married? Contact the Camnet Media team for a professional capturing of your big day in life. Let your relatives, friends and the nation join you in celebrating your big day on television. Just at a manageable fee, Camnet Television will cover and transmit your wedding on your channel of choice. Contact the marketing department on mobile number. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
I give my love to heaven home. And this
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The Zambia Police Service in Lusaka have arrested Jane Gondwe, aged 39, of Old Kanyama compound for assault. It is alleged that Ms. Gondwe poured boiling water on her 25-year-old niece, identified as Gloria Mudenda. Police Deputy Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale says the incident happened on February 17, 2024, around 11 hours in Old Kanyama compound, top 5 area. Meanwhile, the police have launched a manhunt for a 53-year-old man identified as Laban Mukombelo, who unlawfully wounded his wife in Mukushi district of Central Province.
Lusaka arrested Jane Gondwe, aged 39, of Old Kanyama compound for assault. She is alleged to have poured boiling water on her 25-year-old niece, identified as Gloria Mudenda. The victim, who also sustained a cut on the right side of her head, alleged that she was also hit with different objects, including a frying pan, before boiling water was poured on her. She suffered severe burns on her back. Concerned members of the public intervened and rushed the victim to Kanyama Level 1 Hospital, where she is admitted. Her condition is said to be stable. The incident happened on February 17, 2023, around 11 hours in Old Kanyama compound, top 5 area. The incident was reported to police at 16:30 hours, and immediately investigations were instituted, leading to the arrest of the suspect. Preliminary investigations revealed that Ms. Gondwe sells chickens, and on February 17, 2024, it was Ms. Mudenda who was supposed to dress the chickens in readiness for selling, but she gave an excuse that she was not feeling well. This angered her auntie, who reacted by pouring boiling water meant for tea on her. Police have launched a manhunt for a 53-year-old man, identified as Laban Mukombelo, who unlawfully wounded his wife in Mukushi district of Central Province. According to a report received by police in Mukushi on February 17, 2024, at around 13 hours, Eunice Kabamba, aged 50, of Ilume compound in Mukushi, reported that she was beaten by her husband on February 15, 2024, around 14 hours. She sustained cuts on her head, right side of the eye, right cheek, and 3 shaking teeth. An axe and fists are believed to have been used in the act.
Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba has called for continued unity of purpose and harmony in the country, in line with the motto of One Zambia, One Nation. Speaking when he graced the Nchwala fundraising walk Saturday, Mr. Sikumba said despite having 72 languages in the country, it is important to remain united and peaceful. The tourism minister also emphasized the need to recognize the role of traditional leaders in fostering unity in the country. The Nchwala ceremony is slated for the 22nd to the 24th of February 2024 under the theme Cultural Pride in Reconciliation for National Unity, and Republican President Hakainde Hichilema is expected to grace this year's ceremony.
My ministry, as at last year, had supported no less than 94 traditional ceremonies across the country, and Nchwala being one of them. And if I can make reference to the theme for this year, we're talking about cultural unity. The diversity in our nation today is so much to the extent where we have to ensure that we embrace each other. We do have 72 dialects, but it's also important to note that with the 72 dialects we have across the country, we still live in harmony. And that is why we have in Zambia coined the One Zambia, One Nation, One People slogan. And more so, this is probably a message from His Excellency the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who has instructed us, his ministers, to ensure that in our daily endeavors, we work with the traditional leadership. The traditional leadership is one such that will be able to now galvanize the message that we at central government have into fostering development in our various communities.
A newly deployed teacher in Mongo with a disability, Moses Samwanu, has expressed gratitude to government for having considered people with disabilities for employment. Mr. Samwanu told Camnet News that he has spent 7 years without employment. Details in this report.
Persons living with disability have for a long time been facing discrimination, hate, and mockery from people living around them. This is Moses Samwanu, who is among the newly recruited teachers all the way from Northwestern Province, and now shares his joy.
I am so happy, in fact, to be among the persons with disability, because I've stayed for so long. I completed my college in 2016, graduated in 2018. I've been staying without employment, but the government of today has picked me, and all the way from Northwestern to Western Province. I'm so happy.
Check there, the 292. This is your appointment letter. We wish you well at Sekolah Secondary School. Welcome.
This recruitment has made the 10% of persons with disability. It was supposed to be 450, but it has gone beyond 450. So the government of today is thinking about it, the welfare of persons with disability. So I thank my special to His Excellency, the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for employing us, and I'm really happy. May the God bless the government of your time.
Meanwhile, Mongo District Education Board Secretary Lisimba Ilutombi says the district has so far received a total of 40 teachers and 37 have so far reported for collection of their appointment letters.
As Mongo District Human Resource Management Committee, we recruited 35 teachers of ECE and primary. We only had 1 secondary school teacher. Then we had 5 that were with disabilities that were sent from the nation, because the teachers with disability were recruited from centrally. So in total, Mongo has received 40 teachers. So from the 40 teachers so far, we have 37 that have reported. We are still waiting for the 32, the 3 to come. The forms that the teachers are filling in are giving them the conditions of service, the terms and conditions of service. So we encourage them to read thoroughly so that they understand them and do as expected on the things that they are going to sign against.
Social inclusivity is cardinal to each and everyone in society, regardless of their physical status, social status, and race. It is for this reason that employers are encouraged to consider persons living with disability during the recruitment processes, as it gives them a sense of belongingness. Enoch Kaneta for Camnet News, Mongu, Western Province.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NACEZ, in Southern Province has called on government to consider introducing a feeding program in all primary schools in the province. NACEZ Southern Province Director Host Mazabuka notes that Southern Province is among the 3 provinces adversely affected by the severe drought situation being experienced as a result of El Nino. Mr. Mazabuka says introducing a feeding program in all schools could be a crucial step toward addressing hunger, which is expected as a result of the dry spells.
National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NACEZ, in Southern Province, calls upon government to consider introducing a feeding program in all primary schools in the province, which is among the 3 provinces adversely affected by the severe drought situation being experienced as a result of El Nino. Children's nutrition is a key factor in their growth and development. Ensuring that all learners have access to health and balanced meals at school is essential. In many districts, currently there are children who go to school hungry or without proper nutrition because parents have nothing to provide to them. Their immediate future is threatened by hunger because all their crops have dried up. Staying at school on an empty stomach can have a negative impact on their children's ability to learn and succeed academically. Introducing a feeding program in all schools could be a crucial step towards addressing this issue and ensuring that all the learners have the opportunity to thrive.
We apologize once again for the poor picture quality in that clip. Now to Ethiopia. At the 37th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government, the Southern African Development Community SADC has unveiled a 3-meter-tall statue at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in honor of Tanzania's founding president Julius Mwalimu Nyerere. The statue is a symbol of his contributions towards the liberation struggle of many African countries. Zanis reports that President Hakainde Hichilema, in his capacity as chairman of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security cooperation, led the unveiling process. In his statement, President Hichilema says the statue will be a constant reminder to all regional blocs and the global community of the noble work President Nyerere did in bringing about peace and stability. More in the following report.
In 2020, Southern African Development Community SADC resolved to erect statues in honor of all the 9 SADC founding presidents for their contributions towards peace and security, and of course also for their liberation struggle movements. Now, today here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we've just witnessed the unveiling of one statue which has been erected in honor of Tanzania's founding president, Julius Mwalimu Nyerere, which has been erected here at the African Union building headquarters here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. President Hakainde Hichilema was leading other leaders in his capacity as a chairman of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security cooperation.
This statue will be a constant reminder to all of us, individual countries, our regional economic blocs, as it were, or groupings, and Africa, and I believe the global community, for the noble work that this statesman, this true son of Tanzania, son of Africa, did for all of us and the global community. It is now my singular honor to unveil this statue of Dr. Julius Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere, one of the founding fathers, as I said, of the regional body of SADC and the continental body of the African Union. May the memory of Dr. Julius Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere continue to live on.
Also in attendance was Tanzania's President Samia Hassan Suluhu.
Mwalimu backed the founding of our organization and mobilized Tanzanians in support of liberation movements across the continent. Even after leaving office, his support for Africa's efforts, including for peace, remained unwavering.
The African Union Commission was also represented at the unveiling ceremony.
The legacy of this remarkable leader encapsulates the essence of Pan-Africanism, profound wisdom, and service to Africa.
Another interesting feature also is that this statue has been erected right in front of another building named after President Julius Nyerere, called the Peace and Security Building at the AU headquarters. Here you also find statues only. The last emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, who is also credited for modern Ethiopia today, and of course another statue which is erected in honor of Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. So those are the three statues that you're going to find here at the AU headquarters. Alan Muchima reporting for Zanis in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
We'll take a break. Join us for international and sports news shortly after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 04 9213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Now in international news, Senegalese citizens took to the streets to protest against a potential extension of President Macky Sall's term beyond April 2nd, the date designated by the Constitution for the transfer of power. Carrying flags and banners emblazoned with messages such as elections by force and terminus April 2nd, demonstrators voiced their staunch opposition to any attempt to prolong Sall's presidency. Organized by a citizen platform, the protest garnered widespread support from individuals across various segments of society. Chimere Manga, one of the protesters, emphasized the importance of Senegal's sovereignty, declaring Senegal does not belong to a third-party community that should dictate the fate of its people. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
With flags and banners in hand, these Senegalese are protesting against the extension of the presidential term. In response to a call from Citizen Platform, these protesters chanted slogans against Macky Sall's continued hold on power beyond April 2nd. This is the date set by the Constitution for the transfer of power. Senegal does not belong to a third community that should decide the future of an entire people. No, we say no. We will stand up to face this tyrant who imprison our brothers unfairly and release them without trial. These politicians who close our universities and send thousands of young people into unemployment. We are disabled people, but also citizens of the country. We have come to protest like all the Senegalese people to tell Macky Sall not to change the election day, to hold the election as soon as possible. It's for the good of all Senegalese and also for his own good. We tell Macky Sall that his mandate is over. He should go. We do not want to go against the Constitution. Respect for the Constitution, respect for the Republican calendar. This show of strength unfolded peacefully, a first in the country for a long time. The march intended to be silent but turned into a concert of demands, especially for supporters of Ousmane Sonko, who called for the release of their leader. This presidential candidate remains focused on his quest for power. Aliou Mamadou Dia of the PUR party wants the presidential election as soon as possible. On March 2nd, March 9th for the first round, end of March for the second round, a president will have 2 to 3 days to transfer power. We call for calm, we call for the president to be reasonable and to organize the election as soon as possible. This demonstration comes 2 days after the Constitutional Council decision to reject the law postponing the presidential election, a decision applauded by the protesters. An exceptional mobilization that comes a few days after the release of some prisoners considered as political prisoners.
Je suis Wahani Johnson Sambou, correspondant au Sénégal pour Africa News.
Leaders of an African Union summit in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa on Saturday condemned Israel's offensive in Gaza and called for its immediate end. Moussa Faki, the chair of the African Union Commission, said Israel's offensive was the most flagrant violation of international humanitarian law and accused Israel of having exterminated Gaza's inhabitants. Faki spoke alongside Palestinian Prime Minister, who also addressed the summit. A quarter of Gaza's residents are starving because of the war, which began with Hamas' assault with Israel on October 7, in which militants killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducted around 250. Israel strongly denies committing genocide in Gaza and says it does all it can to spare civilians and is only targeting Hamas militants. During last year's AU summit, an Israeli delegate was unceremoniously removed from the plenary hall amid a roll over the country's observer status at the continental body. South Africa's main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, launched its electoral campaign in Pretoria on Saturday. The party leader addressed thousands of supporters who filled the union-building lawns at the seat of the government.
The DA's key priorities during the 2024 to 2029 term will be to 1. Create 2 million new jobs for South Africans. 2. To end load shedding in South Africa and end water shedding. Number 3, halve the rate of violent crime including murder, attempted murder, and gender-based violence. 4, crush corruption by abolishing cadre deployment in favor of merit-based appointments and a capable state that delivers for all South Africans.
The party leader added that the party's choice of venue was a clear message of intent to the ruling African National Congress leading up to upcoming national elections.
The Democratic Alliance is launching our 2024 manifesto from the Union buildings because we today are sending a clear message that in this election we are in it to win it. That in this election we must rescue the Union buildings from the clutches of a corrupt government, and we must restore them to their rightful place as a symbol of pride for all South Africans.
Confetti filled the air as the party leaders joined in on stage singing and dancing along their supporters.
All they just need is just time, within the next 5 years to prove themselves. Because right now they're going to take over a country that's very messed up, and we're there to support them.
African National Congress President Cyril Ramaphosa is yet to announce a date for the national elections.
In our sports news tonight, Copper Queens midfielder EVARINE KOTONGO says the team is confident ahead of the 2024 Olympics third-round first-leg qualifier against Ghana in Accra on the 23rd of February. KOTONGO says despite the known strengths of Ghana, the team is training hard to ensure that the game is concluded in the away fixture and the return leg to be played as a formality. The midfielder maestro adds that playing for Green Buffalo's women's football team has kept her in good shape for the matches ahead. The return leg between the two teams will be played in Ndola on the 28th of February.
The first leg, I'm sure we'll have more pressure playing the away game, but we as a team are preparing very well because we want to finish up the match when we go to Ghana, and when we come back here we just want to wrap up the games. I think Ghana is somehow experienced. They have more experienced players than Angola, and I think we just have to work hard for this match because being the Olympic qualifier, each and every team wants to go there. Even us want to go there. Even them, we don't know how they are preparing there, but we just have to work hard and concentrate during the training sessions. They've really helped me because I've been keeping myself fit, playing the league games, because here we don't really like what they know is that when the games are being played, the league games are being played, each and every player has to be fit. So I think the league games have really helped me to keep myself fit and to continue working hard, and also to know where I'm making mistakes and work on those same mistakes.
On that Copper Queens note, we come to the end of our news tonight. Before we go, the headlines once again. CHABINGA pleads with former President EDGAR LUNGU to quit active politics. Economists describe recent QUACHA gains as artificial. Mukoshi family opposes mining license allegedly issued on its land. In international news, Senegalese citizens rally against presidential election postponement. And in sports news, EVARINE KOTONGO says Ghana Olympic qualifier match is a must-win. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo, and thank you for watching Camnet Television Main News. Good night.